Hello everybody, this is Dr. Aparna. Today we are going to discuss a poem, I Too, written by Langston Hughes. Have you ever heard of racial discrimination? Do you know what is racial discrimination? When people are discriminated on the basis of their color, the skin, the color of their skin, that is called as racial discrimination. This is widely prevalent in America. In India too, we are discriminated on the basis of our caste and also on the basis of our religion, are we not? America is basically known as a racist country. Of course, over the years, that has disappeared and dissipated to a large extent. Today, we have a president who is colored. Barack Obama is the first colored American president. This particular poem reflects America in the early 1920s and 30s. Before we really jump into the poem, I'd like to tell you something about American history. The whites in America got the blacks from the continent of Africa to work for them in the cotton plantations. This was prevalent in the southern states of America. The northern states felt that slavery should be abolished because they felt that slavery was against the human rights. And therefore, around 1861, there was a civil war between the northern and the southern states. The southern states wanted slavery to continue and the northern states wanted slavery to be abolished. Under the able leadership of Abraham Lincoln, there was a civil war and of course the northern states won. Slavery was totally abolished. But then it was abolished as per law. But then it did not go off from the hearts and minds of the people living in America. Blacks were ill-treated and they had white colonies and black colonies. They had white schools and black schools. They had white hotels and black hotels, black buses and white buses. Whites lived in their colonies and blacks were supposed to live in their colonies. Most of the blacks lived in ghettos. What are ghettos? They are slums. During 1920s and 30s, in a place called Harlem in New York, there was a renaissance. The Negroes vented their frustrations in the form of literary output. Many of them wrote poems, many of them wrote dramas which spoke about this kind of discrimination between the whites and the blacks. Langston Hughes is considered as a foremost poet who spoke against the discrimination between blacks and whites in America. This is also called as a Harlem Renaissance. This poem, I Too, actually reflects what happens in the mind of a black person and what does he expect of his white counterparts in America. This poem is not just an appeal, it is a direct attack on the whites. James Langston Hughes was born in the year 1902. He was an American poet, novelist, playwright, and short story writer, and also a columnist. He was one of the earliest